Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Harit Oberoi, and I welcome you all on behalf of IndiaBonds Bond Express, an investor education initiative which was started with an aim to make the bonds investment more accessible and transparent to all. As most of you are aware, the Cholamandalam Investments and Finance Company Limited is coming up with their first secured NCD public issue on 25th of this month, and who can better explain it than the management itself? Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend a warm welcome to Mr. Arul Selvan, President and CFO of Cholamandalam Investment Finance Company Limited, for joining us today and taking his valuable time to speak about the upcoming NCD public issue. Mr. Selvan is a chartered accountant and holds a master's in business administration from the Open University, UK. He has over 31 years of experience in finance and management and has been in Murugappa Group for more than 25 years, serving various organizations in the group. He currently heads the finance and treasury at Cholamandalam Investment and Finance Company Limited. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you, and over to you, Arul sir.
Thanks, Harit. Thanks a lot for the kind introduction and also hosting us on this, platform and offering time for us to speak about the issue. Good afternoon, everybody. So let me run through a presentation which I got here for the better understanding of what we do as a company and how this NCD placement will be beneficial to us as well as to all of you. So as you would be knowing, Cholamandalam Finance is part of a Murugappa group, which is one of the largest group in India. And it has got varied interests in agri-related businesses, manufacturing businesses, as well as in the financial services businesses, which is where Chola Finance finds a part in the Murugappa Group's ecosystem. So Murugappa Group has been there for more than 125 years, and we have been always known for our ethical practices and corporate governance. We had the spirit of Murugappa Group, as you can see here, is integrity, passion, quality, respect, and responsibility. And we inculcate this in every action of what we do. Next. We talk about Cholamandalam investment, which is where we are focusing on for this current issue. Cholamandalam investment is an NBFC, which has been now categorized based on the scale-based regulation as a upper layer NBFC. And we are into financing vehicles, financing loan against property, extending loans for home loans, and for business purposes. We have around 22.7 lakh customers. We have around 13,000 plus employees. We have been in doing this lending business over the last 38 years now. And we have around, currently we crossed a total assets under management of around 1 lakh crores. We have constantly been returning return on assets, which is a PBT on the AUM of around 3.6%. And we have around 1,166 branches spread across the country in every state in this country. We have a diversified portfolio. As I was saying, we have vehicle finance, loan against property, home loan, consumer loan, personal loans, SME loans, and we also have subsidiaries who operate on stock broking and wealth management. Slide is a little busy slide. It gives you the progress over the years from right from the day we started in 1978-79 to right now 2023. We have been progressively growing. We have moved into new products and we have moved into new geographies, and over the years our AUM has grown from to 1 lakh crores today, and we have, as I was saying earlier, 1,166 branches across the country. Next. This is a brief slide on what we have done in the current year so far, and as you can see, we have done a disbursement of around 45,000 crores over the 9 months, which is a growth over 100% as compared to the previous year 9 months, and we have crossed AUM, business AUM of around 95,000 crores, and if you include the investments, we have crossed the 1 lakh threshold even in December 2022. The PBT as we talk for December is 2,400 crores, registering growth of 24%, and our ROTA is around 3.6%. We have products, as I said earlier, vehicle finance, LAP, and the next slides will talk about the other products. Vehicle finance is a diversified portfolio. We have businesses in, we finance commercial vehicles, passenger vehicle, two-wheeler, across the whole gamut of auto financing we do, including new and used. And our focus is on retail customers. We don't do too much of on the corporate side or for fleet operators. And the focus is almost 85% in the rural areas. Vehicle finance disbursement out of the total 45,000 crores is 27,000 crores as of end December. This is a growth of 65%. Loan against property is a loan given to businessmen where we fund, SME customers against their residential property. So there we have clocked a growth of around 78% last year. And if we go to the next slide, we will have the home loans, which is loan against loan for purchase of homes, which is again given to self-employed non-professionals. There we have grown around 80% last year, and the PBT stood at 223 crores, which is at 48% growth over the previous year. Also started a host of new products, which is consumer and small enterprises loan, there's a secured business personal loan, and the SME loans. And these are on experiment basis right now, and we will be expanding these businesses as we find comfort in taking them to the next higher levels of growth. The credit quality of vehicle finance, as well as all the LAP and HL and the new businesses, has been strong as compared to any of the peers in the industry. And we have 90 plus, which is what is referred as stage 3 under the Ind AS, is at around 3.51% in December. And it's been a drop, consistently dropping over the years, which went up during the COVID, but then subsequently it has been coming down. And we also have a contingency provision of 500 crores, that's what I mentioned here. On the treasury side, we are very conservative. We have a comfortable ALM and the liquidity position. Our capital adequacy is at around 17.75%. The broad equity holding, whether the ownership pattern of the company is the Murugappa Group promoters hold around 51.47% of the total shares. And then we have FIIs holding 20%, public holding 6%, mutual funds and domestic corporates holding the balance 22%. Next. So this shows you the presence of the Cholamandalam Finance across various states in the country. We've given as you can see, in every state we are present, and we have given the number of branches in each state in brackets against each of the states. Overall, we have around 1,166 branches, right from Kashmir to Andaman and Nicobar Islands out in the east. And we have a large presence in south, west, and east and north. So it's a balanced presence across the various regions in India. This gives you a financial snapshot of the last 3 years. So as you can see, disbursement has been consistently growing. AUM has been also growing 36% over year-on-year growth. FY21 versus 22, 10% growth on AUM. Income grew by 6% because FY22 was a year of COVID, and which had a little lower months of performance because the first 3 months in the whole country was closed down. But subsequently, you would see in FY23. We have grown more aggressively on the income side. The PBT grew by 42%, and the PAT also reflects similar numbers. The return on assets is at around 3.9% pre-tax. Capital adequacy end of 22 was 19%, and as of December, it has come to 17.75%. Stage 3 end of the FY22 was 4.37, as now it's come down to 3.3%. And branch networks, we saw 1,145 moving up to 1,166. This gives you the breakup of various products within the disbursement. As you can see, the focus has been moving progressively from being much dependent on vehicle finance, which was around 80% of the disbursement, coming down to 60%. The new products coming in at better growth percentages, thereby the risk across various products is spread and there is no concentration risk as such. Next. This disbursement pattern gets reflected in the AUM, and as you can see here again, the AUM concentration is progressively coming down. It's come down from 73% to 64% on the vehicle finance, while the new products have started scaling up to, again, diversify the risk across various products. Profit after tax has been progressively growing. The last bar you're seeing is for 9 months. So that would also show growth when you compare full year once we declare our Q4 numbers. The net worth has also been growing in FY20, while we brought equity of around 1,200 crores. So suppose that the accretions have been purely internal accretions due to profitability, the profit accruals due to operations. So we have a balance sheet which is around 1,04,000 crores end of December 22. Predominant part of which is the business assets, as you can see, around 93,000 crores as business assets, which has been growing from 55,000 crores in March 22, 93,546 crores end of December 22. And on the liability side, this is reflected by the borrowings, which was around 55,000 crores going up to 89,000 crores. The rest being funded by the shareholders funds, which is currently standing at around 13,530 crores. This slide reflects the asset quality. As you can see, the asset quality has improved with the lower NPA numbers. End of December, 3.51%. Gross NPA, net NPA is 2.07%, and the provision coverage is at around 40.96%. So overall funding, from a funding perspective, we always run a very conservative asset liability management process where we don't have any negative cumulative mismatches in any of the time buckets, though regulatorily we are permitted to have a small 10 to 15% cumulative mismatches in the first few buckets up to 1 year. However, we conservatively don't have any negative mismatches and we run it with positive gaps across all time buckets. The overall borrowings of the company is around 97,415 crores end of Q4, which is the March number, and which is 57% thereof is bank borrowings, 16% is from NCDs, 4% is from ECBs, and we have 10% coming from securitization, and the balance coming from short term, which is in the green, which is 4% and 3% representing CPs and cash, the working capital demand loans. So we will be now introducing the retail deposits, retail NCDs also into this segment as we grow the retail NCDs once we successfully launch this and we scale this process of borrowing in the years to come. The capital adequacy is again robust with that around 17.75% overall. As you can see, the Tier 1 has been maintained at 15% against the regulatory minimum of 10%, and the Tier 2 is at around 2.63%. Overall, we are at around 17.75% in the end of Q3. And we have a AA plus credit rating from India Rating, CARE, ICRA, and CRISIL. And we have a short-term rating of A1 plus from CRISIL, CARE, and ICRA. We also have a robust risk management process. We have a governance structure where board of directors review the risk elements on a quarterly basis. followed by a risk management committee's review, and the executive director and the CROs reviewing it on a monthly basis. And we have risk champions across businesses and functions. So the risk process is very seriously attended to, and we make sure that we do not have any risk which could potentially hamper the business, whether at an underwriting level or at a collection level or at a regulatory compliance level. So the risk governance structure has been built over the years and is quite strong, and you can be rest assured that this is one of the main pillars on which the foundation of this Chola's credit and operations rely on. We talked about this. Move on to the next. So Chola is also well known for the digital initiatives it has done in the vehicle finance as well as the other products that we handle. All our processes, right from sourcing of loans, underwriting, collection, disbursement, is all done digitally. While we still have to do some wet signatures, etc., the data capturing and the data processing are completely online, and we have a scenario where the data analytics is quite strong to help us, predict the credibility of the customer, the process of collection efficiency tracking, and the way we need to quickly address any defaults or delinquencies in the customer portfolio. And that's the reason for our portfolio being quite strong and having the lowest delinquencies in the industry as we talk. Chola also focuses on ESG by focusing on funding for the lower strata of the demographic profile, where we give loans to people in the rural for especially those who are new to credit and who are wanting to move from being let's say a driver or a cleaner to becoming a owner of a vehicle, and thereby they become financially independent and they start running their business and thereby becoming a proprietor by themselves and thereby creating a social status for themselves. On the environmental side, we also operate all our head office as well as large places in green buildings. And in the case of corporate governance, we have always been known for our ethical practices and corporate governances, and including from regulators as well as from the any stakeholders. We have always been respected for the ethical practices and the corporate governance structure we adopt. So moving on to the new issue we are talking about, Chola is now wanting to get into the retail NCD space. We have been so far placing NCDs in as private placements, and we have taken the assistance of AK Capital, and then we are also having the trustees and the rating agencies as given here. And IndiaBonds is doing the online part of it, and we have taken their support in extending this issue on an online platform. The details of the issues in the next slide. As you can see, we are looking at a minimum application of 10,000 rupees, which means it's like in multiples of 1,000 rupees, where the face value is 1,000. So minimum 10 NCDs should be placed. And we have given options of 22 months, 37 months, and 60 months, where the coupons are ranging from 8.25% to 8.4%, and you have options of annual payouts as well as cumulative payouts. And the application part, I think Mr. Harit would take you through that portion as we talk in the subsequent few minutes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for explaining the issue structure and about the company in details. Now, investors, I would love to take you through the application process on the IndiaBonds platform. So I'll just guide you through. On IndiaBonds platform, once you log on to it, there will be a section for public issue. Once you go into public issue category, they will give you the options for Cholamandalam Investment Finance Company Limited, the current issue, which is going to be on live on 25th of this month. However, as IndiaBonds subscribers, you can apply to this issue right away. The basic thing on a public issue is that every issue is divided into from the four investor categories, two for the individual categories and two for non-individuals. Individual categories defined as retail and HNI. Any application up to the threshold ticket size of 10 lakh rupees is considered as the retail category, which is category 4. And more than 10 lakh rupees from an individual or HUF category of investor is categorized as HNI category or category 3. And if you are a non-individual category of investors, you have QIB and corporate categories. The details are there on the application form as well as on IndiaBonds website. Once you select the category where you want to apply for, you have 8 series in this issue which you can select. 6 series in the issue which you can select depending upon your requirements: 2 years, 3 year, and 5 year, 22 months, 36 months, 37 months, and 60 months options of multiple interest payment frequency, which is cumulative as well as annual. You select whatever category or series you want to and the number of NCDs you want to apply. Minimum application is for 10 NCDs or an amount of rupees 10,000 rupees, 1,000 is the face value per NCD. You can select up to rupees 10 lakh rupees for an application if you are applying to an individual category retail. Once you select the category, you have to fill in the basic details as an applicant. The basic details for the applicant details are like PAN number, date of birth, your email address, your mobile number, and address correspondence. The NCDs after the allotment will be credited to your DMAT account. So therefore, a DMAT account details are required where you want your NCDs to be credited. Investors having a DMAT account with NSDL can provide their NSDL DMAT details, or investors with CDSL DMAT account can provide the 16-digit CDSL DMAT ID, and the bonds will be credited in the same DMAT account. So you have to be very cautious when giving the details of your DMAT. Second is, all applications up to rupees 5 lakh can be applied through UPI mode. And in UPI mode selection, you can select the UPI handle, whichever you have, and you can apply through this application form. Once you fill in all the respective details, make sure that you carefully read the details which you have entered into and you have vetted it that all these details are correct. You click onto a preview form on the right hand side. If you see a preview form where a filled in form will be available for you to go through again. Your name as an investor, the date of birth, PAN card, whatever details you have filled in, we will capture in the application form. Your DMAT details, the series, the bonds which you have selected, everything will be available for your review. Once you confirm your review, you can complete the application forms, you can submit this application form. The form will then go for bidding. Now, with this only 3-step process of selection of series, filling up the details, and preview form, your application in the online system will be completed. The best part is you can download your application form and you can save it for your reference. If you are applying for more than 5 lakh rupees and ASBA application format is required, then you can print the application form and send it to the nearest collection center. The collection center details are also available on the application form for you to understand where you have to send this form, whichever the city or the place or district which is near to you, and the application will be bidded. Do remember that the issue is on first come first serve basis, and Chola being such a reputed name and the maiden issue, we are expecting huge subscription from all category of investors. So though the issue is opening on 25th and the closing date is 9th of May, but my sense is our estimates are that the issue will not last so long. So please make hurry. Whatever your investment amount or whatever your risk profile suggests in terms of investments, please try and apply ASAP.